you don't do this to your mom. And it is so hard.
Eminem has always had a pretty strained relationship with his mom, Debbie Mathers.
So it does hurt.
They've been through some crazy up and downs through the years.
God knows I don't deserve it.
From defamation claims to a crazy lawsuit.
People are passing judgment by listening to Marshall's songs.
You guys won't believe everything they've been through and where they are now. One of the first major public fallouts they had came after Eminem released his first big hit. My Name Is talked about Debbie in a less than flattering way, but no one could have expected how she would react to it. After the song became a hit, Debbie sued Eminem for a stunning $11 million, claiming defamation of character. This came about due to the shocking hints Eminem gave in the song about what his childhood with Debbie was like. In the opening lines, Eminem rapped about his mom's alleged substance use, claiming that she did more substance than he did. When Debbie sued the rapper, his legal team defended him by claiming that his music only reflected the truth. His lawyer, Paul Rosenberg, said that the truth was an absolute defense to defamation claims, and that Eminem wasn't actually surprised that his mom was suing him, because she had apparently been threatening to do so ever since the single became popular. His lawyer also said that the lawsuit was a result of a lifelong strained relationship with Eminem and his mother, and added that it was pretty painful to be sued by your own mother. And honestly, while that would definitely be true, the song must also have really hurt Debbie too. A life of poverty meant that it was not easy for Debbie to raise a child. They faced a lot of difficulties, including frequent evictions and a lot of moving around. And Debbie has often been reported to have worked really hard to make ends meet for herself and her son. The lawsuit dragged on for 2 years, finally reaching a settlement in 2001. While Debbie did receive money from the lawsuit, it was nowhere near what she had asked for. Instead of $11 million, she was awarded a $25,000 settlement. But what was even more crazy was that Debbie hardly saw any of it, because she had to pay almost all of it to her lawyer, leaving her with less than $1,700 of her settlement. But even after all that, the tension between the two did not disappear. A year after the lawsuit was settled, Eminem took another shot at Debbie on the song Cleaning Out My Closet. In the hit single, he accused his mom of suffering from Munchausen syndrome by proxy. This meant that Debbie would claim that her young son was ill when he wasn't. He also continued to make claims about Debbie's substance use in the song My Mom. He rapped that this was the reason why he also suffered from substance use problems. Eminem's accusations only got more and more shocking. He wrote that she added substances to his food multiple times and would threaten to throw him in the basement if he didn't eat. Obviously, these were extremely serious and upsetting allegations, and now that Eminem had legions of fans behind him, Debbie became a figure of hate for a lot of people. However, it took a few years for Debbie to come out publicly in defense of herself again. At several TV interviews, she released a memoir in 2008 called My Son Marshall, My Son Eminem. She wrote that at first she went along with it for her son's sake, and that if she made one mistake as a mother, it was that she gave into her son's every whim. Debbie continued by explaining that Eminem never knew his dad, so she did everything she could to make up for it. So when she saw that her son made up a whole new life for himself, in her view, she was not happy. In fact, she said that she was heartbroken. When her son first spoke out against her in public, Debbie claimed that the lies started coming thick and fast. And interestingly, she said they did not just come from her son. She also said that she believed that Eminem had forgotten all the good times they had together, and that the book was her way of setting the record straight. Over the next few years, their relationship changed several times, and after all the drama that they put each other through, many were shocked by what happened next. In his 2013 song Headlights, Eminem rapped about being in a place where he wanted to forgive his mom. He even admitted that he still loved Debbie and apologized for some of the things he had previously said about her. On the same song, Eminem changed the subject of his attacks, taking aim at his absent dad. He rapped about his dad being missing from his life as a factor in the tense relationship he had with Debbie. Despite this, Eminem finally admitted that Debbie did her best to raise him and his younger half-brother Nate. But what happened to make Eminem have this massive, unexpected change of heart? One possible factor was the shock that rocked Debbie's life a few years before Headlights was released. In 2010, reports surfaced that Debbie had actually passed away due to cancer. Although this was thankfully not true, Debbie was diagnosed with the disease before the report came out. So perhaps when Eminem heard the scary news, he started to rethink how he felt about his mom. Although things improved with Eminem wrote Headlights, they weren't perfect. It's been reported that Eminem and Debbie were still a little estranged after 2013, and honestly, after so much bad blood for so long, that was hardly surprising. But more recently, things have been looking more promising than ever. In 2022, Eminem was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and despite the rocky past, Debbie couldn't help but share how happy she was for her son. She posted a video on social media in which she publicly praised Eminem for his latest accomplishment. Addressing him directly as Marshall, Debbie wanted to say that she could not let this day go by without congratulating him. While wearing a Shady Records t-shirt, she went on to say that she loved him very much and knew that he would get there. She also noted that it had been a long ride, which could be both a reference to Eminem's long career and also the many years that they've been feuding. But after everything, Debbie still wanted him to know that she was very, very proud of him. She also took the opportunity to praise her granddaughter, Haley Mathers. She said that she was very proud of Haley for her recent career moves and that she had been doing a great job with her podcast. And honestly, it was so great to see what looked like a family that was trying to heal from the past, and it looks like Debbie's life is in a better place now. After a life of financial and emotional stress, Debbie has lately been living a pretty quiet life. She married a man named John Briggs and now has 3 grandchildren. Several publications have estimated her net worth to be around $700,000. In an interview with BET, Eminem gave an insight into how he really felt about Debbie, and what he said showed just how much she changed since the beginning of his career. He said that at the end of the day, she was his mother and he loved her, and that even though they didn't really speak and now had a better understanding of what she was going through, this realization came after Eminem saw himself and who he became as he grew up. The rapper was asked how long it had been since he had talked to Debbie, and he revealed that it had been around 3 or 4 years. After hearing how much better things had been between them recently, this amount of time was pretty shocking, but there's still plenty of time for mother and son to be reunited again. But what do you guys think? Will Eminem and Debbie ever fully fix their relationship? Let me know in the comments below.